All right, I'm very excited to talk to you about this fragrance. I'm a big fan of the Mugler house, and a reason why I got into doing videos were Mugler fragrances, especially Angel, which came out in 1992, and also Amen, which came out in 1996. We now have a brand spanking new flanker in the Angel series called Stellar, Angel Stellar. I've got a bottle here, and I'm going to tell you all about it coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Sebastian, talking to you about Mugler's latest fragrance, an Angel flanker called Angel Stellar. Now, where is Amen Stellar? I'm waiting for that one. I hope they do release it, because last year they launched the Phantasm. That series, it came out with the women's in the black bottle, and it came out with the men's, the Amen, in the black bottle. But we don't have Amen Stellar yet. We do have one of the best Angel flankers that I put my nose on available now. And I think if you're a fan of the original Angel, you're probably going to like this, especially if you love pistachios, because there's a lot of pistachio happening here. And I feel like the combination of the pistachios and the patchouli together is such a match made in heaven. Now, I featured this fragrance in a video of upcoming releases. I got excited right away. I have heard there is an Amen coming out, but I don't see any clues of it. I've just heard. So let's put that on the shelf right now, and we'll come back to that later. But today, it's all about this amazing flanker for Angel. This is super, super yummy. But there's a few things I don't know. I don't know who the perfumer of this one is. Unfortunately, I can't tell you. But for me, it takes me back to the original Angel. So is Olivier Crest behind this creation? I don't know. But again, I was very excited for this. I think Mugler's trying to do a little bit of a comeback after this downward kind of experience they had moving from the Clarins group to L'Oreal, and they didn't launch fragrances for a while. Now this thing just totally takes me back to the best years of the Mugler releases, because it's quite delicious. And even though it's got a lot of patchouli, it's got a lot of pistachio, and those two work really well together. And going back to that video I mentioned, I discussed about this coming out. I mentioned in that video if it was going to smell anything at all like Diaz and Durga's Pistachio, because Diaz and Durga's Pistachio does give me Angel vibes. It's a lot of pistachio with patchouli, and there's that kind of a reminder of it. They don't smell alike. I think the only thing that reminds me of the Diaz and Durga Pistachio is the pistachio note in here. Otherwise, for me, it's not similar whatsoever. It does remind me of another fragrance though, and I'm going to get to that at the end, towards the end of the video. But for notes here, we have bergamot up top, we have pistachio for heart notes, and then we've got, of course, patchouli in the base notes. And this is also selling for 100 ml for 169 euros. And I don't see it on Macy's website yet. I don't know if it's launched in the States yet, probably soon. But again, those of you that are fans of Mugler's Angel and you love pistachio, definitely get your nose on this, because I think you're going to really, really enjoy it. For me, when you first put the fragrance on, you wear the fragrance, you do get a little freshness, but for me, the bergamot is not very strong. It's there to give you just some freshness, maybe some balancing of the more deeper notes. The pistachio in here is quite nutty, uber nutty. Maybe it's a mixture of pistachios and maybe a little bit of a bitterness of almonds is in here, but it's more pistachio, and that's what they say. It's a lot of pistachio. You get that, but I feel like it's not the nuts. It's not like the nuts that you would bite into and eat. It's more like ground up pistachio made into kind of like some kind of a dessert, because there's a very creamy effect happening, maybe even mixed in with something lactonic and creamy and giving you like a nut butter experience here, because it's got this kind of creamy, smooth effect happening. And maybe it's like pistachio butter or that very luxurious Italian pistachio cream. It's giving me those kind of vibes. But also, the patchouli in here is super, super sexy. And the patchouli in here is reminding me of Angel way back when Angel had first came out, the original Angel. So if you're familiar with that, that's the kind of vibes it's giving me. which is fantastic because that is the fragrance I fell in love with. That smell of the patchouli and the kind of intense gourmand notes that were mixed together when I worked in a photo lab while I was going to film school. I smelled the ladies wearing Angel because this was in the mid-90s, and that's when Angel had just come out earlier in the 90s, and I think it caught on around the mid-90s, and all the ladies were wearing it. And it's like this intoxicating, really, really super amazing combo of gourmand notes and patchouli. I get that kind of a vibe here with the patchouli that's in here, giving me like vintage vibes or the vintage Mugler Angel vibes, which is really great, but very modernized with the nuttiness, the nutty butter, nut butter, pistachio butter kind of a gourmand effect happening here with the trademark Angel Mugler, Angel, pistachio. This is a fantastic thing about this, and that's kind of what I like about it. But also that pistachio note that's in here, it is giving me a bit of Zara's Moonlight Whisper intense vibes. Now, if you caught my video of a group of Zara fragrances where I had done a blind purchase of that fragrance, I mentioned it reminded me of Laura Mercier's Creme de Pistache. So not only does this give me the Moonlight Whisper intense vibes, which is also giving me the Creme de Pistache vibes from Laura Mercier. I don't know if any of you knows this fragrance. It's a really delicious, nutty pistachio, creamy kind of, like I was mentioning the nut butter effect, the kind of luxurious green pistachio cream that is available in Italy. That's like a spread, almost like Nutella, but we're made with pistachios. That is what effect I get here with this Mugler Angel Stellar, which again, the pistachio in Moonlight Whisper Intense is giving me those kind of vibes here, further reminding me of Laura Mercier's Creme de Pistache. And basically Creme de Pistache is the cream of pistachio. Here I get a very, very creamy effect. Super, super delicious. This is a really, really great flanker. In fact, I prefer it over the Phantasm that came out last year. I felt like the tropical touches of the previous fragrance were okay, good, but for me, this is working a lot better with the combination of notes they have. I feel like it's so cozy, so super cozy, and also so super sexy at the same time. So for me, this works much better than the tropical fruitiness of the Phantasm that came out last year. Now, when I first started testing this out, I didn't buy it right away because I was looking for a deal. Unfortunately, I didn't find a deal because when I bought another fragrance at a store that was having that L'Oreal promotion, they didn't have the Stellar in stock yet. So I bought it without a deal. And I paid 169 euros for this. So it is a bit on the expensive side because this is an eau de parfum. It's not a parfum concentration, but they do say it's eau de parfum lumineuse, as you can see right there. So they're adding something extra to the word eau de parfum to make it more like a Mugler kind of experience rather than you referring to the actual concentration, if that makes sense. So for me, a projection and sillage are not loud. It's there, much more than other designer fragrances, but not super loud like other niche fragrances, which is not a bad thing because this is what we expect from designer fragrances. So I think they've delivered something really quality because it has great lingering power, just not very loud and with a lot of projection. And this is what I'm familiar with Mugler's Angel. A lot of projection, a lot of sillage, a major super sexy trail. People would be following other women wearing Angel down the street and asking them what they're wearing, because that fragrance was one of the best fragrances for sillage. If you're a person into sillage, that's probably a fragrance you should definitely wear. And this one has a little bit of it, not a lot. And the fact that it's also got that kind of nut butter texture when you're wearing it keeps it a bit more subdued, but it's got really great lingering power, much better than other fragrances I've experienced. And the fact that it's so super delicious and nutty and gourmand and also earthy patchouli, it makes it so exciting to wear. So good. One other thing I should say, so when I first started wearing this fragrance, it instantly reminded me of this fragrance, which I'm actually carrying with me. I'm wearing it on this trip. This is Al Jazeera's Patchouli. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. This does remind me of the original Angel. It's also created by Olivier Cresp, who created the original Angel, by the way. So he created this, but this reminds me of a combo of the original Angel with L'Instant de Guerlain pour Homme Eau Extreme. It gives me those kind of vibes. L'Instant de Guerlain pour Homme Eau Extreme was also one of my favorites that got me into doing fragrance reviews. Really intoxicating smell. So when I first smelled this along the way during, stops at airports and stores, it gave me the vibe of this. I was like, wow, they've really, really accomplished something great here. I mean, even though we've smelled it before, they've given us a really great offering and a brand spanking new flanker for the House of Mugler in the Angel collection. Amazing, amazing smell. And it gave me those vibes. And I wasn't smelling a lot of the pistachio, but after I started wearing it and testing it out further, the pistachio kind of grew on me, and it started smelling more and more pistachio the more I wore it, and it got more delicious. But prior to that, testing it out along the way in passing, it was giving me mostly patchouli vibes and really, really reminding me of Patchouli by Al Jazeera. And even though it still reminds me of the patchouli in Al Jazeera, now it's really nice combo of the nutty notes, the creamy kind of nut butter experience that is so super delicious. Again, this is definitely one of the best flankers in modern times for Mugler's Angel. I think if you're a fan of the collection, if you want kind of a throwback to the way the patchouli smelled in Mugler's Angel, but more modernized with the kind of creamy, buttery, nutty notes, I think this is going to satisfy everyone that's into it. Again, I'm so happy for this flanker. Really, really happy. Much happier than Phantasm, by the way. And I'm hoping very, very soon we'll hear something about the Amen version of this series of fragrances, because that's always how it was with the Mugler fragrances. Although I believe they launched a lot more flankers for Angel, but there were kind of similar flankers for the Amen as well. So I'm only hoping that they will launch a Amen Stellar as well. I mean, from what I've heard, it's coming, but it's just not out yet. And going back to Amen Phantasm, I felt like it was a bit weak on me. Even after months of macerating and maturation, it still didn't perform as great as I wanted it to, but it did smell good, right? But here with Angel Stellar, I'm hoping that they take, Amen Stellar into something sweet and gourmandish, but really overdose with a lot of patchouli. But until that happens, I'm excited for this one, and I'm excited for you guys who are fans of the Mugler Angel series to get your nose on Angel Stellar. As soon as it drops, again, I don't know when it's coming to the States, hopefully soon, but right now they've given us a gem, and it smells so good on me. I absolutely love it, and I could eat it all up. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video on Mugler's Angel Stellar. If you've gotten your nose on this one, let me know what your thoughts are. Add a comment below. If you've gotten your nose on this and also Phantasm, which do you prefer? I prefer this one so much more than the other. The other, I like it. I don't hate it, but this one is super yummy. So let me know, add a comment below, and thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please do list below. Please like this video, please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.